So I will get to today's last question by Kim. She said, "Hi, Sunny. How are you distinguishing between suffering and experiencing a lot of negative emotions? Or maybe there is no difference. It just seems like you characterize them differently." Yeah, you have to look at the emotions as just you know how you look at life, you look at your life, and it's just a bunch of experiences happening, coming and going. See your emotions in that same way. That it's just a bunch of emotions of different qualities, different faces, and they're coming and going. All is happening due to that, right? The factors that I was talking about earlier that are playing into what is happening, what is being thought, what is being felt. You can call that your personal theme, your personal conditioning, your experiences, all that stuff. No, nothing is one cause is for why this is happening. It's like it's all mixed up. Conditioning, past experiences, state of the world, all, right, as if everything is one movement, then this one little thing is the cause of everything, and this the grand movement of everything and everyone is also the cause of this one thing. All is together. Don't take your mind there. It will get very tangled up. But see the emotions as also just that flow of varying degrees and intensities, and of qualities and appearances with and then the mind is labeling positive, negative. Ultimately, it is just even pleasant and unpleasant is a mental concept. Yet it's just an emotion. It is just experience. When you look at it from the lens of this perspective or this understanding, then you're not in battle with this particular emotion. That battling aspect is suffering. So that's something very, I'm happy that you asked this question. It's good to bring up and acknowledge. The negative emotion itself, or the pain, or the sensation, is not suffering. The subtle and invisible fight against it, there lies the suffering. And it's funny because the suffering also manifests as just more thoughts and emotions. And so we can say that suffering is the mix of the fight plus belief in and identification with the thoughts and emotion. So very subtle and like a very subtle difference. But yes, in that way, and that's how I would characterize it. A negative, what we call the negative experience. Let's say someone, bumping you on the back of your car, minor car accident. Now there's like you have to stand there for 2 hours and do all that, go through all that process, go get your car fixed. It's not a pleasant situation, but it happens. That's not suffering. Now, as a result of that, automatically they're just based on your nature, your conditioning, your understanding of life, you may react to that negatively, right? With anger, sadness, despair. If believed in, and automatically, if believed in, there's also a fight against it because when there's a great identification with emotions, then automatically we have this underlying assumption that this is good, this is bad. And if we feel that unpleasantness as that experience arising of anger, then we're already something is fighting. It's like instantaneous, something is already fighting. So again, that fight plus the belief in that, so we may suffer that. But let's say the moment that arises, because now you're, a part of conversations like this and you're discovering these sorts of deeper teachings, that anger arises, but there's just a letting it be, like not making it a big deal. Going through that situation, doing what needs to be done. The negative emotions may arise. Perhaps there's some sadness, yet there's no fight there against it, because you just see that it's not worth it. It's a waste of energy fighting it, and there's no belief in it as well. As you see that it's just that, like, this experience which will come and go, this emotion also is just coming and going, so I don't need to give it so much extra crazy significance, because there's no fight and there's no crazy belief in it. The suffering element won't be nearly as much. That's why you can see two people go through the same circumstance with totally different responses. It's all based on their own understanding and all that. So, but let's say you do identify that element of suffering is there. See that how that suffering will also just arise as more thoughts and emotions believed in and continue to be fighting with. This is what we have been doing our whole life. And that's why I say that you essentially are still free of the suffering. I say this in the second section of the program, in acceptance, that you are free from the pain, you are free from the mental conditioning or the trauma or whatever, because you are that empty lens. That transparent lens. You as the awareness are that lens in which this is being recorded, being seen, in which you're seeing this bundle of thought and emotion arising, believed in, and then this thought and emotion suffering this one, and this thought and emotion suffering this one. We are placing ourselves here somewhere in what we see. So all the instant solution is, in a simple way, knowing yourself as the seeing. And then the belief starts to diminish, and the fight against what is being seen also diminishes. Then therefore the suffering element goes. And understanding of self develops. That is why observing acceptance is why it's so, uh, why we emphasize it so much.